Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We're going to take you this time trout fishing. Now, we've done quite a few trout fishing videos. I know a lot of you guys love following them. A lot of it would have been floating line fishing. But if you're a beginner, because we do get the emails, we get what? Several a week, don't we?
Easily, yeah.
Yeah, different people asking about fly fishing. They want to know about sinking lines. Now, a floating line, guess where that is, guys? Yes, it's floating on the surface. But with a floating line, you can be using that for dry fly or nymph. But sometimes the trouts, if it's cold weather, there's a cold breeze, they're going to be a little bit deeper. They'll be down in the surface layers where the insects are and the food is. So all fly lines will have different weights for casting, the actual weight of the line. Also, they got different, if I described it, what would we say, densities, I suppose you call it?
Yeah, I say so, yeah.
To make it sink. So you've got what's called a neutral density or an intermediate, which is it sort of sink very, very, very slowly. Now, you could put some grease on it and make it float, or you could degrease it, put some washing up liquid on it, and it will sink slowly, 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 almost hang in the water. That's pretty good, you know, when there's a light ripple on the water. But you can really vary the depth quite a bit by using slow sink, medium sink and fast sink. Forget the medium sink, I would go to slow sink and fast sink. Now I've got on here, don't even know what the reel is, Hardy's I think it is, on my old bonefish rod here, I've got on that a slow sink line, which we're going to try. We're over at Richard Twite's fishery. It's Frensham fishery, trout lakes, very good, very pretty, tucked away out the wind as well. That's where we like it, a little bit of a breeze, and it's tucked away out the wind. That's a nice place to fish. So there we go. We're going to be trying a slow sink line, which will be going down through the water, but you don't start retrieving, do you, until it gets to a certain depth. Now here's the tip, guys. I will start with a count of, let's say the water's, for argument's sake, 10 feet deep. I will start by using what's called a countdown method. I cast out, it lays flat on the surface, I don't even move it. I let all that fly line here sink slowly like this. It will sink slowly, and I count to 20. When I get to 20, I start stripping it back. Fast, slow, you have to work that out for yourself. But you can also shallow up. If you don't get fish there, stop at 15 seconds, stop at 10 seconds. All of a sudden, maybe 10 or 5 seconds, bang, fish on. You know the fish should be laying in that sort of layer of water, that's where they take. But you can go deeper, can't you, Mike?
Yeah, so on this line, I've got there's a weight forward, there's a fast sinking line. I've not actually used fast sinking line before. This is probably my, 8th time fly fishing?
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a fast
8th or 9th time fly fishing, so I'm still a complete beginner to fly fishing. So this is a weight forward, it's fast sinking. Technique wise, I'm guessing what sort of retrieve do you need to do? Well, obviously if you're counting it down, how long do you need? Less time, I guess, to count this one down.
I was just going to say, that's going to sink faster. So if you have a grade with a slow sink like this of 20, let's say it's 10 feet of water, you'll be picking weed up off the bottom. If you start picking weed and rubbish and twigs off the bottom, obviously you start the retrieve back earlier, start the countdown earlier. But if you've got a fast sink line, you might only be 5 to 10, and you'll be passing what this one was as a slow sink. But of course you can mark your reels up if you have different weights of line, can't you? Yeah,
so we've got the old bodge job, the Pullen bodge job here.
Not that bad.
Which is, hold on, that's Graham's way of marking things.
I could read it.
To me it looks like a registration plate for a car. So can you describe to me and the viewers what the hell that means? So we've got AHW 7S, is that?
It'd be a weight forward sinker. AH is the maker, and they don't do me any favours, so I'm not even going to mention, but I know what make it is, and that's what I'm using there. But you can, if you don't want to do it that way, do it the neat way. Now that's neat. This is when I bought the reel. This is obviously the guy who's a proper fly fisherman. He put it on the inside of the rim there, and that's a good idea. So he's got on there my SS, I guess.
Yeah, it's upside down. Yeah, weight forward 8 SS.
That's it. Or weight forward, slow sinker SS. That's how you should mark them up, and that's all the way. You know, it's out of the way in there, it's all covered up. But listen, here's a little tip. You can, when you put these in and out like that, changing spools and reels, pinch your fly line and damage the outside of the plastic coating on there. If you look, I don't know whether you're going to see that there's a little notch just cut on the edge of the spool there. So if you, when you're changing spools of line, put your fly line or your leader just inside there, it will then go through the frame of the reel without pinching the fly line and just slide on there like that. Pop, it's on. So remember that little notch that's in there, that's cut. Most good fly line reel, or most good fly reels will have it for fly lines to go when you change your spools on and off. So that gives you a good idea there. Now, we're going to be fishing, probably start on the main lake, I guess, will we?
Yeah, I think we'll go to the main lake. Yeah, it's nice and pretty down that lake.
It's pretty.
Nice and bit more open for casting.
Yeah, the sun's out, you know, so that's nice to get in a bit of sunshine. Now, the sun being out means that probably the buzzers, and there will be guys there surface fishing. That's fine, but we're going to be doing sinking line fishing because I'm still adamant that early on in the year like this, you can see there's no leaves on the trees. It's going to be colder water. When the sun's on the water, up comes the insects. They'll come up as soon as the sun's on the water. Trout are active in the top layers. What happens when it gets colder and it goes, you know, the sun drops down out of the sky earlier? I think the trout are going to go deeper.
So it's similar to carp fishing, really, isn't it?
Exactly.
Up in the margins when it's sunny.
Yep. And
then winter time, down deep in the middle of the lake usually, aren't they?
Exactly. So keep an eye on that. And if you start watching, I always watch other anglers. I'm always watching to see who's catching what on what method, how fast they're retrieving, what they're using. There'll probably be guys there using intermediates, using floating lines. They might even be using those sight bobs for all I know, because they're basically right on the surface. When they stop catching, that's when we should start cashing in, because the trout, when the sun goes off the water and the insect life slows, they're going to start dropping deeper. They've got to look for food. Why would they stay up there if there's no insect life? They're going to drop down. So there you go. I think we've run you through basically what a sinking line is. It's just a fly line, but it's impregnated with different, let's call it little dust particles of metal. Obviously, it's loads of different bits that make it sink. You can get super fast ones, high density ones, 400 grain ones that are like casting a donkey, but these are just basic slow and fast sink models.
Just for the viewers, what rods are we using here, just so they know? Because we got some.
This rod is done by me in my early 20s. I think I bought it as a blank from Simpsons of Turnford. I believe it was Jack Simpson of Turnford. Me and my friends all piled in the car and split the petrol and drove all the way up to wherever Simpsons of Turnford were and bought the blanks and built them, and that's still going strong, and that's over 40 years. It's just, I don't know, Wake Forward 6 or 7 fibre tube I think they were at the time. And Mike's one, this is a bonefish rod that I use for bonefish. I use them both for bonefish, but that one I use quite a lot, a little bit stiffer.
This says Martech of England.
Yeah.
And this is a 9.5 foot, 6 to 8 weight, I think. Carbon fly.
Yeah. Sounds cool, doesn't it?
No idea what it means, but we've got to give it a go.
They're just fishing rods, guys. Look, I tell you, you know Totally Awesome. It's not all the fancy tackle and mates that catch a fish. It's the tips and techniques. That's what you need to know. We use pretty well anything, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
If you think we're bad at fishing and use rubbish, wait till you see us play around the golf. You ask us, what's our handicap? Here's my handicap. We don't have a handicap because we've never registered on the golf cart. We've never got enough balls to get us around the course. So there you go. Let's crack on. Let's go fishing. See if we can't get something for you on a sinking line.
Yeah, let's do it.
Trout fishing in the springtime can be one of the best times to try them, especially if you're fishing deeper in the surface. If it's warm, they come up on top chasing the insects, but a little bit of a chill in the air and those same fish will be down deeper. It's up to the angler to go searching for them. And the lakes here really are an idyllic setting. Sheltered by those trees, you can fish it in pretty much any wind at all. We've got the first fish on, guys. That was on a 20-second countdown on the slow sink line. So just counting 20 seconds, and what I was going to do is start from the bottom and then work up. And if I start picking up leaves and rubbish on the bottom, then I keep coming higher and higher all the time. And eventually, hopefully, you're going to get a fish and about a dozen casts in. Not a big fish, nice rainbow though. Now, what I'm on is the typical sort of cold water fly, really, that you start with on a Montana. Mike's on a Montana with a green, the gold head, so I've got a gold head Montana as well. Mike's fishing in tweaks, and I'm fishing fast on trying the strips. I just go by what everybody else is doing, and if they don't catch on slow, then obviously try something different. A quick peek at this guy. As he unhooked, I'm going to do one quick look and slide him straight back in. I've had the fish is about like a 2.25 pounds there. Well, that's a good start. and one on 20 seconds. I'm going to try again, 6 casts with 20 seconds. He's gone. And if I don't get any more takes of 20 seconds, I start coming up. I might go 15 seconds and I go 10 seconds. I'm coming up in the water. And of course you've got the option of, if I don't get the takes on the fast strips, I'll get no more bang, because that could have been lucky. Then obviously I can start slowing up like everybody else is. First fish out of the way, totally awesome. Now you might ask yourself, how come you can do catch and release when a lot of fisheries don't allow it? Well, here there's constant movement of water which is highly oxygenated. It's driving air bubbles into the lakes. They're set down on a tier system with what are called monks, and that's piping that goes on staggered levels from one lake down to the other, and it keeps a constant flow of water, and that's what the trout like. Let's face it, they like clean, fresh, cool water, and that's what they get here at Frensham. That was what, well, it's really the ultimate place for doing catch and release fishing, because the rainbows there and some of the browns, they have a very good survival rate, and it wasn't long before I got hooked up to one. I'm always on the lookout for other anglers. I want to see where they're fishing. I want to know what depth they're fishing at. Also, I'm watching what fly line they're using. Is it a sinking line? Is it floating? Are they catching on a slow retrieve? I mean, if somebody catches one big trout, that's great, congratulations, but it doesn't really tell me anything about the fishing. It just tells me one guy's been really lucky to catch a big trout. But if there's a guy standing next to me and he's catching 4 or 5 or 6 trout regularly of an average size, he's obviously doing something different. And that's the guy I either need to talk to or I need to imitate and sort of try and follow exactly what he's doing with depths and speeds of retrieve. Well, we're still on the main lake here, and I've changed from that slow sinking line. I've got a fast sink now. Because what I do is watch other anglers as well. When they start to slow up on their catches on the surface, I figure they're going down, getting a bit wised up, and I put a fast sink, and now this is the second fish on the faster sinking one, and it's on a big lure, which is what Richard Twite said. When they go off like that, sometimes you can strip a lure in, but I tried fast stripping, nothing. I've done 2 tweaks and a nice slow draw, and I've had several really soft bumps, almost like it's snagging the bottom. There he comes, another rainbow. So they're following it. What they're doing is following it along the bottom and then just nipping at it. And if you're not awake and you're not aware of that with a sinking line, you've got to be able to feel them straight away and almost lift into them. Come on, boy, in you come. It's on that same Sid Knight lure as well. There he is. Another nice rainbow. There you go, guys. Nice rainbow. Sinking lines do work in the colder water conditions. Beautiful. Away you go. And this is the fly. One of Sid Knight's, like a mini dog knobbler with flash material in it, which you can't really see. It's covered in trout gob all over it at the moment, and slime. But that's 2 fish on it, so obviously I'm going to stick with that and fish it slow. With somewhere like Frensham, there's an awful lot of fly grabbing trees, bushes, shrubs. It's all there, so make sure you look behind you and try and cast up into a gap. If you can get your back cast going out far enough without going in a snag, you're going to be in the zone and get out far enough to catch a trout. If there's a lot of anglers fishing the water, then perhaps a lot of the time those fish won't come in close. They'll possibly be pushed out to the middle of the lake, and the angler that casts the furthest, he's got a chance of, putting his fly in amongst those fish. First thing in the morning, I do notice, and I did notice it here, and it applies to a lot of fisheries, the fish can be taken quite close in. They must come into the margins. But once they get pushed out by angler activity, say really at weekends it's going to get busy, isn't it? That's when you're going to see a lot of anglers. That's when you need to just take note of where those fish are. They might be rising just out of the way, and a long cast might just get you out there. The thing to remember when you're doing catch and release fishing is cold water is better for trout. In the middle of summer they don't hold up well. You can really, or it's best to unhook them in the net. But winter and early spring, especially early spring, the water's still pretty cold. They love it. They're a cold water species and they're away.
Consider yourself a fisherman. Just how far do you want to take it? Subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos.
So we come down to a different lake this time. Dad's had 3 trout already, so he's doing quite well today. I've had 0. So I'm changing tactics here, going from a fast sink to a slower sinking line. I've got not sure what fly this is, because I'm not much of a fly fisherman. Big old fly though. Black with a little green bit at the back there. So we'll give it a go. Hopefully I can get my first fish of the day and not have a blank.
Don't forget to break up that speed of retrieve. It could be short, sharp twitches and jerks, or it could be a nice long slow pull that suddenly gets you hooked up. Here it is, Mike's got one. He's hooked up to his first fish of the day. Don't forget, if you're a beginner, try and keep that rod tip nice and high. The rod's there not just for casting, but to absorb all the plunging, the thrashing, and those long runs that a fish might make when it's spooked and he's hooked up. So use the rod as a lever and a sort of shock absorbing spring to cushion any sudden lunges the fish makes. Don't be afraid to put some side strain on the fish by laying your rod over to the opposite direction it's going. It might be digging to get towards a weed bed, overhanging branches, or even tree roots. You need to keep it away, keep it out in the open water, and you've got a good chance of getting the fish.
Well, it's obvious that sinking line's definitely working. I'd say second cast. It wasn't quite first cast, second cast, I'm honest. And yeah, first fish of the day. Looks like quite a decent size. It's putting up a real good scrap.
Brown or rainbow?
It's a rainbow, nice looking rainbow.
Oh, nice fish.
Yeah, it's a nice fish.
Yeah, nice fish. Big fish. That's better than those others, yeah. It's like a black gold head. Oh my God. Yeah.
Get in.
That's more like it.
Look at that. Look at the colours in that. Look at the colours.
Beauty, that one, beauty.
Look at this. I reckon 5.5, 6 pound. Let's get it out of the net.
He's certainly good 5, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
That's a nice fish.
Lovely looking
That's
fish.
a nice fish.
Lovely colours. Really nice fish.
Right, let's get him back and see if we get another on a sinking line.
There we go. Let him recover a bit.
Make sure you keep your rod tip in line with the fly line, so it's going straight down through the rod rings and you're pulling that trout on as soon as you feel a take. If you have too much slack line up in the air, you're going to miss the fish. It's going to be a sharp take, sharp tug. Probably you'll want to strike, and if you do try and strike, you're going to miss it. You need to be able to pull those fish on to set the hook.
So I've got my second fish now, about a 20-minute gap in between those two fish. It was on the slow sink, and I think it's a little bit deeper they're taking now. So we'll get this one in, unhook it, and then let that line sink a bit more. There we go. In the bag.
Another rainbow too.
It is. Hooks out. Let's have a look at him.
About £3 or something.
Yeah, it's quite a feisty one.
So maybe the faster sinking line might get down a bit more as well.
Yeah, there we go. Look at the colours on that fish. His tail up. Oh,
He's
he's gone. Awesome. Changed the setup a bit now. Up the rod strength. This is one of Dad's old bonefish rods, I think. It's I don't know much about fly fishing, but this is a Martech of England, 9.5 foot, 6 to 8 weight. And the reason why we've gone a bit heavier is because we're using weight forward sinking line, number 7 I think it is. So we just beefed up the gear a bit, just to let that line sink. Don't need to tweak it back too quickly to start with. And let's see if we can catch something.
That's a fast sink, so hopefully if they're any deeper you might pick one up on that.
Yeah, and the last 2 fish we've hooked are definitely deeper. On to my third fish of the day, on the fast sinking line. Got to let it sink. A couple of quick tweaks. A couple of quick tweaks and then some slow ones, drawing it. Hopefully we can get him in so you can see him. He's really putting up a scrap at the moment. I can see him out there on the surface. Oh. Makes a difference having this beefy rod now when you get the bigger fish. Yeah, he's out there, dashing around. The light's just going as well. Oh, he's come off.
Shows the fish.
Yeah. The light and the fish.
He was on there though.
And the fly by the looks. See that up that tree.
That's what I love about fishing in woods. Those things.
Okay, let's get it back out and see if we can get one more.
Oh, was that a fish? Fish. Fish on. Oh, I'll tell you, that was a weird take, that one. That one almost slack lined me. Mike's up there on the fast sink, so I've obviously pinched his rod and gone to the slow sink. I thought I'd just go around and try it at the top end where you hook that first fish. And you wonder why there's no ratchet on this reel. It's because I use it for my stalking reel, and I can spin it up fast like this, and then I'm straight on the reel and play it like this. Not a big fish, but I tell you what, it's been a pretty tough day, and I'm quite chuffed to pick that one up on the slow sink line. There is a slight problem. Those of you who watch Totally Awesome Show will know what it's going to be. You know what it's going to be. There's no net. Right, net please. I can't get it up there, so I'll take the camera. You go and get the net for me. Every time.
When's he going to learn? You'd think he'd learn.
You might as well net it for me while you're at it.
Oi. Don't come off. Please don't come off.
I don't think there's many fishing presenters that actually film with one hand and fish with the other. Mind you, I can't do anything with the reel, so the fish has got to go in now.
There we go.
Good man. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. That was lucky. I'll tell you what today, guys, the old sinking line on catch and release have definitely done the biz. I'll just show you quickly. There's the little green chomper in his, where he's nipped it just there. One of Sid Knight's. It's got a little bit of tinsel in it, barbless. Beautiful colours on those fish in the springtime. Absolutely magnificent. Let's get this one back. Oh, he's behaving himself very well. That's a nice fish, about 2.5 pounds. There we go. Sinking lines rule today. It just goes to show you, it can be intermediate, it can be a slow sink, it can be a fast sink, medium sink. That's all you need to go right through those depths and find out where the trout are actually taken at. Brilliant. Wow, straight after mine. What was that, Lucky?
That was literally first cast after we just filmed that one being released on your rod. I was straight in on the first cast.
Keeping tight.
It's gone slack.
Speed winding or stripping by hand.
Oh, he's not happy. He's over there. There's big belly in the line, so he might lose this one. Got to try and keep that tension.
Well, he's way over the other side.
Yeah, he's got a belly in the line.
Want him nice and smooth.
There he goes.
Oh, good jump. Good jump. That's a jumper.
That is.
Can be a sign that they come off now and then. Won't say anything.
Yeah, another belly in the line. He might jump again.
Strip it by hand if you have to. Or walk backwards is another tip. You can walk backwards, just take a step or two backwards. That's it. Pressure the rod, you're on it.
He's going to go again. He's not run out yet. Here he goes. He's going to jump. This is not a happy fish. There we go.
He certainly gave you some slack line.
I can see him out there. He's on the surface. Quite a nice one actually. Good size. Oh, he's going to jump. Look at him go. This one's feisty fish. He might even have a few more jumps left in him.
And that's that same greenback, shellback chomper.
Yeah, funny. I actually, not knowing much about flies, I thought it was a bit weird. I tried to pull it off, but it's actually part of the fly.
Oh, thanks.
So, because I did get a snack of it, so I thought I was a bit...
Hey! Oh, yeah,
you should be getting that shot. All these jumping shots. I reckon he's going to jump again.
And don't forget, keep a nice bit of tension. We're all on barbless here.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to go. He might just be running out of energy, this fish. Well, he's done 3 or 4 jumps, cleared the water completely.
He's running
Here he goes. Ooh. There you go.
Good scrapper, this one. Now we have to admit there is something of a genetic defect in our family.
No net. The net's up where you were. Over there.
The bloody net's up there now.
It's on the bench.
No, it's not here. Where's the net?
Get the net. This fish is fooling me.
Whew, totally awesome. If anybody feels like donating a second net to us, we'll take it. You know, we're not sponsored even by net people.
The funny thing is the trout ones actually have clips, so they clip to you.
I know.
And we still don't have them with us.
Oh, I see him on the surface now.
Yeah. He's still got another run in him, I reckon. He might kick off. Here we go. Here he goes. Yeah. Oh.
I'll tell you what, it's the best fight the fish we've had all day.
It definitely is. That first one put up a good scrap, but this is something else. I want to know what this fish is on. Other than a white chomper.
Yeah.
No. It's not a happy fish at all.
Well, he's coming now as a rainbow, yeah?
Yeah, rainbow.
Get hey!
What a scrap.
That was some fish scrap, that was, wasn't it?
That was a great.
What, about 4 pounds or something like that?
For the size of the fish, what a fight.
That was a good scrap,
Let's just
yeah.
unhook him in here, in the water.
He just snapped and nipped at that, yeah?
He's just, absolutely.
Do you know, I wonder if it's this cloud cover that's come over.
Look where the white chomper
I can
is.
zoom in on that, guys. You can actually see the white chomper there.
Look, that's just right
It's
there.
a white chomper with a green shellback. So we get that one back. I reckon it's because it's got darker with the cloud cover. We're starting to get the fish.
Yeah, it's a nice hole in this net.
Notice the hole in the net as well. So we have one net between 2 people. Whoopee! That's a good fish. 4 pounds, 4.5, 4.5 pounds.
Lovely markings.
That's a lovely fish, that one. Yeah, look at him across the back there.
Yeah. The old adipose fin, is it?
Yeah, that's the adipose fin. Yeah. Right, let's get him back in.
Yeah. is not looking good. On the back cast, tried to do an almighty cast, and the once very nice trout rod that Dad owned has now, unfortunately, been broken. As you can see there. This is not good news. I really, really hope he does not find out. I wonder if any of you have ever broken a rod before, but this has to be a first for me, breaking a rod. But it's not just a normal rod, it's quite an expensive fly rod. So I'm slightly worried. I'm here at the car first, he's still packing up. I'm slightly worried what he's going to say. I can hear him coming. This is not good, guys. There he's on his way. Dad, are these trout rods a 2-piece or a 3-piece rod?
All trout rods 2-piece.
2-piece?
Yeah, all 2-piece trout rods, yeah.
Okay. Just something I'm interested in.
Right, let's go, let's get cracking.
Yeah, coming.
Well, that's what I call, turned out to be a good trout session, that one. Not bad at all. Mike got his first slow sink line and fast sink line trout. So that's got to be good. And we've got some good footage for you as well. So, home time. Yes, we're functioning. So what made you ask about 3-piece trout rods, Mike? Are they anybody been used? No, I don't think I've seen a 3-piece trout rod actually. No, I think I've seen a 3-piece salmon rod. I've never seen a trout rod though.
You know, just wondered how they would cast.